Welcome to the Weekly Spanish Review. This is for Mr. Jones' Spanish 2 classes from April 19th to April 23rd. This week we continued with their travel unit. We looked at some of these translations in the textbook. I'm going to go over them right now. So in these pictures we've got our sentences in Spanish and then you translated them to English. So we got a good mix of vocabulary and also the grammar. In a lot of these sentences, we saw the present progressive tense, which is talking about in the moment. And I'll go over these as we're looking through the translations. So the first one, los pasajeros están pasando por el control de seguridad. We know this tense is in the present progressive. It's happening right now because we got our subject, the passengers. We've got our estar conjugated. Since it's they, los pasajeros, we change it to están. And then remember in the present progressive, those verbs are ending in ando or yendo. And we know pasar is an AR verb. So we've got pasando. And then we've got more vocabulary here. Through security, el control de seguridad. And also the pictures will help you because you can see what's going on throughout them. Let's look at one more translation from this picture. Hay que mostrar una forma de identidad con una fotografía. Remember, in our list, hay que means one must. We learned last year in Spanish 1 that tengo que, tienes que means I have to or you have to. Hay que means one must. So one must show a form of ID with a picture. Moving down to this one. This first sentence, la pasajera está en la puerta de salida. Remember at the beginning of the year in Spanish 2, we learned the difference between ser and estar. So those ser are permanent things. Yo soy alto, yo soy inteligente. Estar is talking about in the moment. So in the moment, she is in the gate. So we need to use estar for this one. All right, now the second part is talking about what she's doing in the moment because we've got our ando. Está esperando la salida de su vuelo. So we know esperar means to wait. So she is waiting for her flight to leave. La salida de su vuelo, the departure of her flight. What's happening with the plane? El avión está saliendo a tiempo. Again, in the moment, it is leaving on time. No sale tarde, it's not leaving late. Let's look at this picture and some of the vocabulary words. We can see that the pictures match up with the vocab words. So up here we can see the overhead bin is el compartimiento superior. The window of the plane, la ventanilla. Flight attendant, el asistente de vuelo. Seat, el asiento. And then seat belt, el cinturón de seguridad. So these sentences were a little bit longer. We know los pasajeros, the passengers, have to, tienen que, poner, to put. So what do they have to put? Su equipaje de mano, su carry-on bags. The passengers have to put their carry-on bags, and we know it's in the overhead bin or below the seat, this last part. En el compartimento superior or debajo del asiento. Alright, finally let's look at some of these words, taking off and landing. So el despegue is the takeoff. Despegar is the verb to take off. So in this first sentence we got, the plane is taking off. El avión está despegando. And then here we've got it's landing. El avión está aterrizando. I was glad to see how well everyone did on the translations this week. I know we've been working on traveling for a long time, so we've got these words down, and you did a really good job translating from Spanish to English and recognizing not only the words, but the tenses and some of the different grammar. Now, we also worked on the Google Slides presentation this week, and I was glad to see everyone did really well on their vocabulary, on answering some questions about your travel preferences, and giving some examples of the present progressive tense.